Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm John.
And we're Bucket List Travellers. And in this video, we're celebrating a huge YouTube milestone. 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Woo!
Yay!
Yay! You all, our 1,000 subscribers, get a big, massive thank you. Thank you for all your support over the last 7 or 8 months. We love getting all your comments. We love reading, we love responding, we love all the encouragement, and we also love getting feedback, good and constructive. In pulling together this video, we thought, well, how can we honor our subscribers? We do a lot of videos about this wonderful country of Nicaragua, but we don't actually talk that much about ourselves. So in this video, we're taking all your questions and we're going to answer them. And we're also going to honor this wonderful adopted city of ours, Granada.
So let's get into it. Cheers!
Cheers! I am Jose gave us the question, are you guys still in Nicaragua? And well, we have Ometepe over there and Mombacho right behind us, so that's
Yes,
an emphatic
we are.
yes, we're still in Nicaragua.
And we're absolutely loving it here. So today we took a day trip going on Lake Nicaragua. We went to Isla Zapatera, which will be coming up in a video shortly. And yeah, we're just loving it here. So we're going to see a bit more of Nicaragua in the next coming months. And we're still loving Granada, so hopefully we'll end up back in Granada sometime soon as well. Nolan from Quantum Astronomy asks, what do you first do to start traveling?
Well, we've got to work out what destinations we're going to go to.
And for us, our destinations have generally centered on either planning a trip around an event, and we've been to 3 overseas weddings so far, or else we find cheap flights for destinations that fit in with the time frame that we have for our travels.
Yeah, and we also look for a cluster of countries that we can get round to, and that ties in with our bucket list goal of getting to 100 countries before we die.
And a valuable resource for planning your travels is TripAdvisor.
Yeah, we have a TripAdvisor account, and if you follow us on TripAdvisor as well, you will see over 1,000 reviews of restaurants and accommodation and attractions.
Trail of the Wanderlust asked us, what inspired you to travel?
It all started for us with our first trip together overseas to India. It was just amazing experiencing a different culture, seeing so many different sights, and just eating some amazing foods. It was really addictive.
And from there, with every trip, our love of travel has just grown and grown.
Trail of the Wanderlust also asked us, how do you budget and save for long-term travel? Now, we found this to be really hard, as there's so much we want to say on the topic. To begin with, you've got to work out what you want to achieve with your traveling. And from there, you can work back to set out goals for saving.
With your saving goals, it's very important to just build up the habit of saving. Saving really is a habit, it's like a muscle, and every time you exercise that muscle, it just grows and grows.
We've realised that we live by the FIRE philosophy, which is financial independence, retire early. Now, if you want to know more about the FIRE movement, just let us know in the comments below and we'd be happy to put a video together on that.
And for us, with travelling, we come from a high cost of living country, and we generally budget travel in countries that are a lot cheaper. So that really helps us with being able to travel a lot, because it's actually cheaper to travel than to live at home. 3 Minutes of History asks, how does thinking about editing influence how you film?
We probably don't think about it as much as we should. We're still learning the whole process. We do think about it when we're transitioning from one place to the next, and also when we're doing a particular skit or sequence where you really need to get the positioning right of where we are. So there was one example that I did in a video where I created a clone of myself. That needed a fair bit of thought beforehand.
And I guess we're trying to get a lot of B-roll so that we can use that in the editing process.
Yeah.
3 Minutes of History also asks, how much planning goes into your videos? Do you script it? Do you decide who says what beforehand? Or is it more spontaneous?
Well, I wish we could be very spontaneous, but in reality, it is quite scripted. And what we do is when we've got an idea for a video, we work out key words that we want to target for that video, and then we pull a script together. Now, when we're doing day trips or when we're seeing different points of interest, we do the drunk history approach.
So that's where we cram all the information and then we just start talking. But If you see videos where we're not on camera, chances are it's scripted.
Faye and Dan asked us what our dream destination is. For me, going to Norway to experience the Northern Lights is definitely on my bucket list.
And for me, it's going and swimming with whales in Tonga.
Mish311 asked the cheeky question, who is the better board gamer?
Well, it depends on the game, but I think it's me.
Yeah, well, I think it's me. I think what we can both agree on is that we're extremely competitive, and when we get together, we're pretty hard to beat. Get Up, Get Out, Get Gone asked us the intriguing question, what bad travel experience have you had that's made you think twice about traveling?
So this is going to be a bit of a downer, but every trip that we've been on that's been 4 weeks or more, someone close to us has died.
On our first big trip, our honeymoon, my father passed away, unfortunately.
And our next trip through Southeast Asia, my mum passed away just a few weeks before we left.
And then our next big Southeast Asia trip, my grandfather passed away.
And in this trip, not only have we had the global pandemic, but we've been to 2 virtual funerals, as well as another funeral just a few weeks before we left. That said, bad things are going to happen to you when you travel a lot, and that shouldn't prevent you from getting up, getting out, and getting gone.
Adventures of Matt and Nat asked us, how did you guys meet?
So we met at first year uni because we were doing the same degree.
It wasn't until after uni that we got together as a couple. There's a long story involved with that, but it includes a red light district, a park, and early hours of the morning. Django Fetz asked us a couple of really good questions. So the first one being, what did you guys think of Nicaragua before you got here?
So before we got to Nicaragua, we didn't know too much about it. We didn't even know how to say the word Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Nicaragua. Nicaragua. We'd been traveling through Central America and we assumed it would be pretty similar.
And we had heard such great things about Nicaragua from everyone who had visited, so we were looking forward to slowing things down a bit and maybe spending up to 3 weeks here. Now, it's nearly a year and we are still here. Django Fetz also asked us, did you ever feel unsafe in Nicaragua?
So the only time I've ever felt unsafe in Nicaragua was right at the start of the pandemic. There was an incident where a man yelled at me in the street to go away, and it felt like it was a racial thing because I do have some Asian heritage. Now, we ended up deciding to stay in Nicaragua despite that incident because we felt that anti-Asian sentiment would actually be worse in Australia, and from what we've heard in the news and from friends' own personal experiences, that has actually been the case. And here we've felt completely safe, completely welcome. The people are just really friendly and do look out for you.
We were concerned about how Nicaragua was going to fare with the pandemic, and the experience has been quite mild from what we can gather. So not only is Nicaragua one of the safest places to live generally in Central America, it's been one of the least affected by COVID.
So when you do come to Nicaragua, just be sure to take the normal safety precautions that you would anywhere that you travel to. So don't flash around your valuables, and keep in mind that at times of festivals there might be some pickpocketing and petty theft, and also there are certain areas that are known to have a few robberies, such as around the lake area, especially at night.
Django Fex's last question is, are we going to travel outside of Granada?
And the answer is yes. So we haven't traveled too much outside of Granada so far because of the pandemic, but we're feeling a bit more confident about traveling around, and we really want to see more of the country.
In the next month we want to go to Ometepe Island, which is an island that has 2 volcanoes, and it's in the middle of Lake Nicaragua, which is just behind us.
And then we might head up north into the mountains a bit after that, so that should be fun.
We hope you enjoyed getting to know us a bit better.
And once again, we extend our biggest thanks to all our subscribers. And if you're new to our channel, a big welcome to you as well. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.
We are Bucket List Travellers.
See you next time.